Hey everybody! So today we're going to talk some more about the Galactic Center. But before I start, I want to say my disclaimer. I know some of y'all that have watched these videos before are probably tired of hearing me say this. But for anybody new that happens to stumble across these, that's why I like to include this. I want to make it clear that I am not a Galactic Center expert. I have lots of astrological knowledge, but the Galactic Center really is one area where I am just fucking with astrology, tossing out ideas and theories and things like that. I'm not claiming that any of these are universally correct or anything like that. Just want to throw that out there right away. Today we're going to talk about the when you've got like the part of fortune or the part of spirit, also known as the lot of Damon, which I didn't mention in the other video. But that's interesting because I've talked about Jeff Wolf Green's idea about the Damon soul and how it feels like it might tie to the GC. And the names there's both Damon or demon in the name. So I think that is interesting. But somebody reached out and asked about what it might mean when the part of fortune is conjunct the GC. They said they couldn't find a lot of information on this online. That doesn't surprise me because I really doubt there is. About this specifically, I know sometimes you'll find stuff about the GC conjunct the moon, the sun, or the rising. But yeah, something like the part of fortune, there's probably not a whole lot on. And so, you know, in the original research, this wasn't something that I was looking at, the part of fortune or the part of spirit. But it really should have been, because the part of fortune and the part of spirit are both calculated from the sun, the moon, and the ascendant. So it's a very personal point or part of the chart. So it should be included. It really should be. So if you happen to have, just real quick, if you happen to have the part of fortune or the part of spirit conjunct the GC, let me know. And I'll shoot you the questionnaire to do. Now for this one, I'm thinking 5 degrees applying and separating from the GC. So like something from, depending on where the GC is in your chart, like GC's at 26 something in mine. It'll be 26 something or so. Should be anyway. So anything from like, I don't know, let's say 21 Sagittarius to 1 degree Capricorn. If you happen to have the part of spirit or the part of fortune in that window, let me know and I'll shoot it to you. I even think that's probably too wide for this, but I think it's a good starting place for these two. I think it's a good starting point. So yeah, if you have the part of spirit or the part of fortune from 21 degrees Sagittarius to 1 degree Capricorn, let me know. Okay. So the part of fortune is thought of as, you know, a place where you find prosperity, a place where you find your fortune. Fortune is a lot of, you know, not just money here, but, you know, fortune in general, where you're fortunate. Latent talents are another thing that the part of fortune deals with. It's also the health of the, it also deals with health and the physical, in your physical body, in the physical world. So you bring all of these things together with the notion of the GC, and the GC is, it's a massive amount of energy. The GC warps, it distorts, it changes, it bends, it transforms, it spaghettifies, it does all of these things. So if somebody has their part of fortune conjunct the GC, I feel like their notion of prosperity or fortune could be kind of distorted or warped. When I say those words, I don't mean them in a negative way. I just mean there could be something distorted. And again, distortion isn't always bad. Sometimes I think that what the collective tends to view as fortune and prosperity, it's not always what really matters. So this distortion that I'm talking about may not be a bad thing, might be a good thing. It's just, those are just the best words to use for that. I might also think that there's something a little different about their talents, or a talent, something a little different. Perhaps their own view on that might be a little warped or distorted. This could be in a good way or a bad way, good way, bad way, you know. It would depend on everything going on in the chart and where the planetary ruler of the part of fortune falls. In this case, it would be Jupiter, most likely. There is a slight chance, though, that you could be dealing with somebody who has the part of fortune in Capricorn, which would be still, you know, like at 0 degrees Capricorn, still be conjunct the GC. So then in that case, you'd want to look at Saturn. But what the planetary ruler is doing of the part of fortune would play into as to how the part of fortune might function for the person in that case. Also, okay, so I've mentioned the GC as like being a spiritual place and feeling like a connection to somewhere else, like it could be. And downloads, like divine knowledge and downloads coming from it. So if we're talking about the part of fortune, that makes me think that the person needs to pay a lot of attention to their physical body and the downloads that they get from their physical body, because in this case, it could be that their physical body is what's receiving these downloads, not necessarily their mind, but their body. So this person needs to be in tune with their body. And that may or may not be easy to do just because of how much energy is going on at the GC. But they should try to pay attention to what their physical body might be getting downloaded. I might also think that this person, the health of this person might be a little different. Their relationship to health or to their physical body even might be a little different. I also feel like reversals of things could happen because, you know, there is so much like change at the GC that you could have somebody who feels like they're kind of, I don't know, like you could have somebody who feels like they're kind of down on their luck. But it might change like that. Like quick changes, quick reversals of prosperity or of fortune even. Or you could have somebody who feels like they're really, like they've been doing really well, and then all of a sudden it all, you know, goes to shit. I hope that doesn't happen. But I could see like the quick change in this regard playing in with the part of fortune conjunct the GC. I could definitely see that playing in. But again, looking at where the planetary ruler falls and what it's doing will help give you an idea as to how that actually plays out. Now the part of spirit or lot of spirit or lot of daemon. This one is more, whereas the part of fortune is more physical rooted. The part of spirit or the lot of spirit, lot of daemon is more psychological or spiritually rooted. So I do feel like, you know, if you've got the part of spirit conjunct the GC, this person might really have an ability to get like downloads or divine knowledge or things like that. They really could. I'm not sure how easy it always is to do anything with them or to know what to do with them. Again, that would depend on everything going on in the chart, but this person probably really needs to pay attention to that. Try to pay attention to that. I feel like the person's spiritual and or psychological part of them might be kind of there might be something kind of warped or distorted about this, or changed about this, transformed about this. They might go through a lot of transformations in this way. There's probably a lot of psychological energy, a lot of spiritual energy. Something probably does need to be done with this. It probably does help the spiritual and the psychological health of the person if they actually do something with this, rather than just not, you know, just because of the massive amount of energy there at the GC. It does seem like that would be important to actually do something with this. Since the part of spirit is more something that is, the part of fortune tends to be thought more as, now I'm not fatalistic when I look at natal charts. I'm not with astrology. I'm not fatalistic. I'm not. But some people do read the part of fortune as a little bit more fatalistically, as in, if it's fucked in your chart, it's your chances of prosperity or fortune or what have you aren't as high. I think there are probably ways that you can work with that, which is why I'm not quite as fatalistic about it. Whereas the part of spirit is more things that you intend. There's less of a fated quality and more of like an intentional or willing things to happen. So it does make me think that for the part of spirit, and even for the part of fortune conjunct the GC, the actual belief is important, right? Because we're talking about Sagittarius, in Sagittarius, the GC being in Sagittarius. So, and more than likely the part of spirit or the part of fortune being in Sagittarius in this particular case of conjunct the GC. I would think that the belief in what you're intending or willing is very important with the part of spirit conjunct the GC. I would think with the part of fortune, like the belief in the physical body and what it can do would also be very important. I feel like the actual belief in this would be an important thing to have. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention here. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, let me know if let me know if you've got like the part of spirit or the part of fortune conjunct the GC, if these happen to feel like they might resonate, because again, I've just started playing with this in terms of the GC. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at Let's Fuck with Astrology. I am at Saturn Season Astrology on Instagram. Natalie is at Paterno Astrology on Instagram. If you want to like or subscribe or whatever the fuck people do with videos on YouTube, you can find us by searching for Let's Fuck with Astrology in the YouTube search bar. If you're watching it on YouTube right now, you can like and subscribe below. And if you do the Reddit thing, come join us on the subreddit Let's Fuck with Astrology. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all later.